I'm gonna go ahead and shoot another video in this dress because it's just so super fabulous, and it's just one of those dresses I don't even think I could wear out anywhere. So it is perfect for a Saturday afternoon video. It is snowing outside and rather chilly, and so instead of watching TV, I decided to make a couple short videos. So in this particular video, I want to go through that energy of the dark night of the soul, or that suffering that our consciousness can enter into. Now, this will propagate differently and become an experience for each individual differently. And sometimes the dark night of the soul, or this descent into this very heavy, hopeless energy, is brought on by life circumstances. So it can be brought on by health issues. It can be brought up by the dissolution of life circumstances, the breakup of a marriage, the breakdown of a family situation, the loss of a business or a job, or a whole combination of things. And sometimes, many times, that will be that catalyst into that dark place of our consciousness, where again, it is very difficult for us to see the light, very difficult for us to seem hopeful or to feel hopeful. And it is in this darkness, it is in this hopelessness that we essentially start to remember our eternal nature, the aspect of what we are, our consciousness, that is also non-physical, that is in existence without a body, when the body is not here to provide it with the many ways that it can suffer by. This is the point, through this shadow work, through the dark night of the soul, that we start to essentially reach out beyond our three-dimensional experience into something further, into something that we must tether to get us, or to pull us out of this state of no man's land, or again, this very hopeless, raw, dark energy. I know because I have been through this awakening journey several times. Now, for me, it was something that I had to go through due to a series of different traumas that I went through during my life. And it was the trauma, it was the loss and the physical manifestation of the suffering of the body that was the catalyst to this period of darkness for me each and every time. But I've also noticed that I have gone through almost kind of mini dark night of the soul experiences that were not directly related to trauma or specific experiences. These mini periods of descent were due to a descent that, or rather a calibration of a low frequency I was holding within my own consciousness. So it was a state of being quite unaware, quite asleep, and a contraction in terms of my understanding of my own receptibility, but also my own ability to connect with, to commune with that divine energy of unconditional love that is available to us in each and every now moment if we seek it out. And the reason that I'm specifically making this video is because I had quite an intense conversation with a friend of mine who's going through some deeply troubling health issues. Some things that, again, in terms of the magnitude of how these health issues will affect their lives, it would seem to the normal consciousness or mind almost insurmountable. But what we have to remember is that even something that we are as tethered to as a body is meant to be impermanent. It's that wave particle, things popping into existence and going out of existence. And I know that this is difficult from a 3D perspective to completely understand, because again, we are so rooted in our physical reality. But that is the quest to really know that we are and we do exist beyond our body, that what we are is energy. We are this beautiful, energetic information that from one lifetime to another coalesces into this body form to create an experience, to have an experience. And that part of that experience is learning about the beauty of life, but also learning through context, learning through the breakdown of the consciousnesses or the ego's attachment to the physical reality. So the ego is not bad. It's not something that, we're trying to erase or trying to push away from our identity. The ego is merely a tool to understand the level of distortion we may be viewing or perceiving through. And again, it gives us a lot of contrast in terms of our own soul's journey into the higher states of wisdom, of love and light. I think I'm going to wrap this video up. I had to kind of make it into two parts. But again, if you are going through something that seems very hopeless, very insurmountable, there is more than any situation that you're going through. There is more to what you are, even in the very worst circumstances that may surround a body or an existence. It's so important to remember that even those that we have lost, we haven't lost them. It's merely that three-dimensional aspect, that small aspect, that body vehicle that their energy had, that essentially was housing their energy or our energy for a particular piece of our learning in terms of our soul's evolution. So hopefully this brings you a little bit of peace. Hopefully there was some insight in this video, and we'll see you in the next video.